Testing. 1, 2. Just getting ready to do it again, everybody. Shane is here. Great to see you, Shane. All right, just getting ready here. Another 2 minutes or so and we'll get started. So and we'll just start it. Simple Sam, I see you. I see you, Simple Sam. All right, we're going to get started very soon. All right, let's do this. Hey, everybody, we're back. It's Friday once again. My name is Abe Duque. I am here with you every Friday at 1 p.m. We are at 343 TV. We come from 343 Labs. We're a school. We have schools in Berlin, New York, and, of course, online. Come and check out our website and maybe, check out our class schedule. By the way, we have I have to just say this right off the top of the show. We have a big time sale going on right now. Buy one class, get one free. That we don't do that. We do that maybe once a year, tops twice a year. But this is the time to do it. If you've been waiting to take a class, buy one class, get one free. Please go check out our website and see our class schedule. Anyway, I'm back again here. Let's see. You guys are in the chat having fun there. I could see John H. Kingston III here. Bill Bancroft, which we will talk to in a little bit. Simple Sam, Natas. I saw Rashane. Rashane is here. A lot of old students and people that I'm used to seeing now in the chat all the time. Thanks, guys, for coming back and spending some time. Let's get our friend Bill. Bill is back from last week. If you guys remember, Bill was here with us last week, kind of hanging out in the show, on the show. How you doing, Bill?
Good. Great.
How's drum and bass treating you?
It's good. I'm diving into the liquid drum and bass and trying to make some Reese's in Serum. Reese bass.
Yeah, this is your first kind of foray into it, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of subtleties to it, but it has nice cross-genre possibilities with pop and ambient, and I think that it's a lot of fun to explore.
Yeah, Bill you wouldn't know by looking at Bill, but Bill is like an amazing producer. I mean, how can you tell by looking at somebody if they're an amazing producer or not, right? But how would we hear your music? Just to get that out there again, because people need to hear your music.
You're way too kind. It's just Xenopus, Zenopus.
On Spotify?
Yeah, there's some on Spotify.
And SoundCloud, I guess. All right. Let's get into it if you're ready. Get back into what we were doing last week. Let me pull up that set we have going on here. And Bill, if you could keep an eye on the chat, that would be cool. That way we can, see what's going on in there. So people are talking about you. Simple Sam says, "Hey, cool, Bill is in international streaming services." That means, but yeah, right. All right. So we have this set from last week that we started. I guess this is the third week for it today. Let me just do a little review. We did a lot of things in it. I'm not going to go into all the details, but just maybe some details about what it actually sounds like. Maybe. Let me just hit play. So got some of the parts kind of going in there. So I have right now I just started most of the parts are off. Remember that mystery part we had last week, Bill? That we didn't know where that resonance was coming from?
Yeah.
Somehow we recorded this right here. Some take of something going on, but at some point this actually goes into that whole resonance thing, which is it's actually really cool. So I'm just leaving it in there as like ambiance for the whole thing. Maybe
maybe 4 or 5 bars or something.
Well, it actually goes about 60 something bars, 63 bars or so.
Oh.
So yeah, when it gets to around this part of it right here, that's when it starts to resonate and get that really cool kind of background effect going on. But anyway, got that going there, and we're just gonna leave it there. Yeah, I don't even know when I hit record on that. It just recorded something, and maybe we could even make
way
it cool.
Of making drones.
Yeah, somehow let's sidechain it just to kind of give it a little more rhythm. Let's do a little sidechain compression on it, just for fun. So let's open up the sidechain here, and let's just straight to the kick drum, I guess. And So that you hear that the resonance starting to happen in there.
That's so funny.
So I'm gonna
put the granulator on it too, since it's kind of a sample. Maybe it'll get like a rhythmic thing.
What do you mean, the grain delay?
Grain delay, or the.
So that's the bit that I was talking about. So
It's
where
fun.
so let's just make it. Let's do a peak here. So this compressor has the ability to do peak or RMS mode. Do you remember what the difference was between peak and RMS, Bill? Not to put you on the spot, but you are on the spot.
I can't remember.
So it's a very important distinction for everybody to know what peak and RMS is. So peak and RMS, when you're like
RMS
it's about
is average.
Right. RMS stands for root mean square, and it's relating to averages, right? And peak is basically the higher.
Highest.
Right. So what happens is that if you see there's on these levels here, there's like a bright green and a dull green, and the dull green gets higher, and the bright green isn't. The bright green is the RMS material, the stuff that hangs around for like it has to hang around for like at least 300 milliseconds for it to register. And the top stuff has to hang around only for 10 milliseconds. So it's about how the material hangs around and how the compressor and all the limiter, not the limiter, but all the metering sort of recognizes it. And we could use that to determine how we should make the compressor work. So we should make the compressor just listen for the peaks and start to compress according to the peaks, or make it a little more selective by setting it to RMS. And as you can see, it's not going as much as when you put in a peak. But in peak, you can have a little more serious control over it.
Simple Sam knows the answer to RMS.
Simple Sam says RMS averages. Yes, it's root mean square. Sam should come on and tell us in person. Sam, you have the link. You can come on at any time.
He's got to join, even for 10 minutes.
We'll get him one day. Don't worry. No pressure, man. I'm glad to just be in the chat doing your normal chat thing. So you can't really tell too much, but it's getting some interesting kind of pumping action going, giving it a little more rhythm there, making it a bit of a rhythm. And also some little hiccups and stuff are happening in there at the same time, which is really cool. But yeah, let's keep that. So I have that. I have a bass section comprised of 3 bass lines. So this is the second bass line. I don't know if you remember these parts, Bill.
Vaguely, yeah.
Sam is afraid to come on because he thinks I'm going to quiz him on the show.
You can't know as much as Abe, so there's really no downside.
All right, so we have these 2 parts here, and then we have a third bass line that came from the 303, and that makes up that whole bass area. I'll solo the whole bass together. So that's 3 basses together. In order to like make them all feel nice together, I'm gonna add a little bit of compression to the whole thing. Maybe a bit of a bus compression. Somehow my mouse died. Isn't that great?
Have you already EQ'd them yet, or not really?
EQ'd what?
The different basses.
I was going to do a little bit of that right now, but my mouse is dead.
Oh.
Hold on. I might have a wired mouse that I can plug in real quick. That's interesting. Let's see, is this still dead? Yeah, this mouse is like completely dead. Like it died. Like it ate rat poison or something. Let's see if I can plug it in real quick. I just need to find a spot to plug it into. I hope I find the right spot and I don't unplug something I need to keep. That would be terrible. Terrible. Let's see. Well, now the mouse is working, but it's not picking up. Yeah, that's great. I love it when things don't go together. Oh, that's amazing. That's simply amazing now. Let me just try to switch out batteries in real time. Interesting. Haven't had this type of. Everything happens, I guess, when it can. Murphy's out to get us, right? So the one wired mouse won't work. Oh, look, it's working now. Yay! Wired mouse works. Okay. Disaster averted.
Excellent.
Okay. That's weird. That's so weird. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. I should just keep the wired mouse always wired in there, right? Mouse Poison says TI 80 mark. Okay, so let's a little EQ on these guys. Let's do some EQ, separate EQing. I like for these type of things. I find that the quickest EQ is the vintage stuff. And you know, if you guys have been watching me for some time now, you know that I have some vintage EQs that I really love and that I really recommend. Like I think my favorite one right now is the API 560. Do you have a version of that, Bill?
I don't think so.
This is a pretty cool.
No, I don't have it.
Fast to work with EQ. You can get
I've got
things.
The Neve.
I also love the Neve, but this thing can really bring out character quite easily. And I just like swing these little bandpass graphic EQ points around until I find something that I like. And let's A/B that. So yeah, that's a nice little change there. And then let's grab another for this guy over here. You said you have the Neve, the 1073, I guess?
Yeah, that's right.
So let's grab that one. So just to kind of use them on this. So I already processed this part over here. We did some crazy kind of three-way. Remember we broke up the into three chains here?
Oh, that's right.
The sound, but let's take the whole thing and EQ it. Okay, so gotta turn this one on. So
That's
Simple
it.
Sam is saying he just saw the email that we sent him to come on. So just quickly trying to get a little more distinction and definition. See, they're cutting out. That cuts a little more through.
That seems much more punchy.
Right? And on this one, let's grab another EQ altogether. Well, no, let's keep the same type of EQ. I kind of like it the way it is, but
TI 80 mark says that the first EQ looks similar to the free Voxengo Marble GEQ.
the Voxengo Marble. I haven't seen that one, but the first EQ, you mean the API one? Is that what? It's like the first EQ. The API is set up and down, kind of in this kind of lunchbox convention that there was before. There was Eurorack, there was Lunchbox, and now let's see. And there's been a lot of versions of it all over the place. That and the 1073, same thing. Lots of versions of that, all over the place. So let's see. Hey, is the feed looking a little choppy to you, or is it just my?
No, it looks good.
Okay.
Are you trying to establish different fundamental frequencies with each of the basses with your EQ?
Well, that would be hard to do considering they're all kind of bass and they're all kind of playing in the same area. I'm just trying to make it so that they somehow cut through and can. It doesn't seem like there's such a big problem. They're not like right on top of each other, and they're moving. So what you could do normally, what I would do to like make sure that that's going on, or that that's not going on, is that you grab a spectrum and you kind of make a note at like where everything is being hit. Like so, you drop a spectrum in here on this channel, and maybe hold on, let me get these so that I can mute them somehow. So let's solo all these. So that one has kind of, a reach everywhere, but it looks like the main part is right around here, which is around 67 hertz. Let's look at the other ones. The 303, put that one on. Those are some notes here. There's this note, and this note. The lowest one is around 64, so you have 64 and 67 to worry about, which is fine because they're not right on top of each other. But the cool thing is that since the other one is not so tonal, like you can't really make the melody out or like the note out of the first note, like this one. It's more of like just a thumpy thing. You don't have to worry about it being in the same frequency or out of key, right? And then the last one, this one is here around 65. Look at that. Somehow we've managed to, have slightly separate frequencies for every one of these basses here, and somehow stay in key and in tune and be okay with it, which is pretty nice.
Is there any danger that they're going to cancel each other out?
The danger that they might cancel each other out. I don't think so. We're getting reports that it is a bit choppy, like a max headroomy type choppy. But we'll see. Let's see. If I move my hand this way, I'll eventually see it in about 20 seconds. But let's keep moving forward and see what happens. Anyway, so as I got them now EQ'd and now on the main channel here where they all meet, I'm going to put a little compression on there just to kind of make it all feel like it belongs. And I guess I could just use the glue compressor. That'll be fine. And a little bit
Barry Williams just showed up from Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. Welcome, Barry. Okay, just a little. You don't want to push the thing about the glue compressor. Like I can use it to tighten everything up. And when you have three bass lines going at the same time, it's not a bad idea to have something like a glue compressor kind of tightening them all up. Because what happens is that the glue compressor, the more you push it, the more it tightens the low end, and it kind of removes some of the lower end, and makes everything very tight, but like kind of almost like an EQs out some of the low end, the real low end. So you got to be careful. If I push it too much, like let's say I went like this, you'll start seeing that I'm being ridiculous right now with how I'm working it, but you could see how it's like all the real bottom has gone out of it. It's all super tight, but the bottom's going out of it. So you don't really want to get it above like 5 or something like that.
So Oleg Larson wants to know what version of Ableton you're using.
I think this is 11.1 that I'm using right now. So I don't really want to get it more than like 5, but maybe halfway between 0 and 5 for all those. But now everything's kind of just nice and tight together there, which is good. So that's our bass section. We'll just put that to the side for now. When we start arranging it, we'll figure that out. There's a group here. I forget what this is. Let's see. Let's bring that in. Okay, so that's a little bit of a plucky sort of thing. That could use a little bit of EQing as well. It's a little bit back. So let's just use an EQ8, see if we can't bring some maybe a little shelving. I use this EQ8 sometimes because it saves CPU, but it's okay. It's not amazing. I bet you if I would grab one of those other EQs, we'd be... now I feel like I have to grab one of those other EQs, Bill. The things you make me do, Bill.
Go for a fab filter.
Oh,
Q3.
Too late.
Oh, okay.
I grabbed the 1073. I just want to compare how quickly I can get the 1073 to like
bounce up the higher frequencies.
Yeah. So with this thing, you guys got to remember to turn on the EQL button here. This versus this. Well, it's actually not that bad. I guess there's not that much on the high end part of it to grab. Like, look at this. There's nothing to push here. So if I pull back a little bit, I'll have something to grab onto. Now it's a little too loud, but cuts through nicely. Okay, let's keep on moving. So I have hats. And these hats are cool. Remember how we made them with the shaper and all that? I don't want to go back into the shaper, third week of dealing with the shaper, but what I do want to make them is a little bit on the sides. Remember how to perform the Haas effect, Bill?
Yeah, I think the Haas is a very short delay from the two channels, from the stereo channels.
Right. So it's just like acoustic effect that kind of makes it so that left and right get spaced out. Just
Simple Sam was wondering about maybe in a transient plugin to bring the attack up on that plug.
On the plug? On that plug?
Plug.
All right, let's do this real quick because we're almost done here with this. So basically all I did was just add a little bit of left-right delay. And as you can see, that just brings it nice to the sides. We're in the center, and that's in the sides, and it'll be nice to enjoy that like that. I'll make it a little louder. So I'll put a little utility or something on it. Just a little louder there. Now there's that sound of ours. Okay, so where are we? We're going back to the plug. So the only transient shaper, I think I have some transient shapers in my gazillion plugins that I forget what I have. But I think the easiest one would be to grab the drum bus. For you Ableton users, remember the transient shaper you can find in the drum bus. Yeah, there we go. Plucky pluck. Much more pluck there. Bring it down a little bit. And also a little drive from that. from that circuitry there. Okay, so got that. And then we had those synths that we wrote in the end. On the pluck indeed, says Simple Sam. Okay. So we had these 4 synths that we created in real time. Remember, I played those parts in, and then kind of just made some sounds on the fly. So here's that operator, and I think we did an analog here with this one.
And a wavetable, right?
Yeah, there's the analog right there, and there's the wavetable. And we did that with the. And then we did. Remember that Cat August, that Max for Live?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, the Cat August is really cool. I heard some low end. You hear some low end bumping. If you play it enough, there'll be some low end bumping that I want to get rid of somehow.
Maybe check the envelope.
Well, the crazy thing is that the shaper is moving this cutoff so much around that it's probably causing that. You hear that? So I think it's easy enough to get rid of it, or with just some EQ. So let's just take some EQ to it and just lower, like get lower. We only really want the mid and highs off of that. So we just kind of see how we've lost the bump on the bottom that I was hating on. I can go even a little higher. It's about 100 hertz cut, I think. Yeah, the Cat is cool, says Simple Sam. Definitely. And let's. Yeah. All right, and then we have. So we have to kind of lay these out, and we got to start an arrangement somehow, right? But let's, what I like to do always is like use some of these knobs here to like get some filtering set up. So I'll do the operator filter on, and I guess we could do some other parameters as well. Oh, why is this not picking up? Let's go to the preferences and see what's the story. And by the way, it's halfway point of the show, and I just wanted to just remind everybody that we are you're watching 343 TV. My name's Abe Duque. I'm here every Friday at 1 o'clock. We also stream tomorrow on John Selway's Techno Saturday show. We have a sale going on at school, buy one get one free class sale. If you've been thinking about taking a class, this is the kind of the time of the year to go do this, because we don't do this very often. So buy one get one class free right now. So check out our website 343labs.com. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out why I'm not getting any recognition from my APC 40 here. I'm gonna unplug it again. Maybe it'll somehow show up. Let's see. Yep, looks like it's showing up now. So let me see if I can map now the frequency. I'm still having intermittent mouse problems, but look, I got that mapped on the operator. I'm going to map the next knob to the next filter on the analog, and the wavetables filter will be mapped to the next one. And then the Cat has a filter too, I believe. Of course, has a filter. And but that's being totally manipulated. So we're going to have to get another filter in here. Blue tape crew checking. Yeah, I had a bunch of blue tape on this thing earlier, and I took it all off because I said I started thinking you guys are going to make fun of me for having the blue tape. So let's let me get out the MIDI map mode and get a filter to work with. I'll just grab the auto filter here and drop that in there, and then I'll map that to the next. Yeah. So now if you play them all, I should be able to play with these knobs and get some good action out of it. Close them all off first. So they're all closed off. Oh yeah, see, that's nice. That's that one. And then there's this one. When I do the kind of arrangement, I'm just going to play these in live. And then there's this one. I wonder, as far as effects, they all could have a little more. Maybe this one can. And then this last one. Okay, so we're ready to go with that.
Dan Dawson just joined in. He says it's solid groove.
Oh yeah, nice. Thanks, Dan. We're trying really hard here. There's our resonance again, doing its thing. Okay, so I wanted to like record some voice. So let's get another track going on in here, and get my inputs and outputs ready to go. So I'm gonna choose 3 and 4, because that'll be just my voice. I could record some. I don't know what I'm going to record. Any lyrics for me, Bill? Anything you want me to say? Did I stump you, Bill? Bill, are you there? Sorry. I think Bill locked up somehow. I think we lost Bill. Alright. So let's record some stuff in here. I don't know what I'm going to say, but it's okay if I record stuff and just maybe cut it up later. So let's just take that. See what happens. I don't know what I'm going to say, but it's okay if I record stuff and just maybe cut it up later. So let's just take that and see what happens. Bill froze. We lost Bill. Let's see. Hold on. Let me have a look, because I'm a little concerned about Bill right now. Let's see. Seems like Bill has muted himself. But... well, Bill, if you could come back, you're welcome to join in at any time again. All right, so what I wanted to do is, just have some words in there to kind of set up the next part of this, which is what I wanted to do is, yeah, Bill is frozen, everybody. Bill thinks he's frozen, and he is. Don't know exactly why. Bill, you could try the link again, see what happens. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to set up another channel here with another instrument, which is going to be an operator. And this operator, we're going to grab a bright This is bright brass. And the reason I want that for is I'm setting up for a possible run with the vocoder. So let's see that. So let's see. Let me just. So for vocoding, you need a nice bright sound, something with a lot of harmonics to it. Let's see if I can make. Bill's like trying to get back in, so let me just see if I can make him. Yeah, he exited. You're exited, Bill, so you could try to come back in. All right, so oh, there he is. I think. Are you back, Bill?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Good to see you. I was worried about you for a second. Anyway, we're trying to set up here. I was asking you for some lyrics for our song here, but you were frozen, or I thought you were trying to ignore me for a little bit. So Dan Dawson's asking me if the operator, the bright brass I'm setting up here is going to be my carrier. And yes, it is going to be the carrier. So in vocoding, what you have is a scenario not unlike FM where you have modulator and carrier going on. So if we take, let's grab that vocoder and drop it into the channel with the voice. And if we put it in, we're going to put it in external mode. Now, if you're looking to set this up for yourself, please pay attention now because, I teach the vocoder a lot, the Ableton vocoder or any vocoder for that matter. And every time I set it up for students, they always have trouble remembering how to set it up again. So the idea is that you need another track that has a sort of a synth in it that has a lot of bright harmonics, but that track will need to be turned off. You're not going to hear it directly. You're going to hear it through the vocoder as it passes through with your voice. And let's go ahead and set this up. I want to have it in external mode. That means it's going to grab the input from that bright brass. There's the input here from the bright brass. And now that's going to come in and they're going to meet together. My voice and the bright brass is going to meet together in the vocoder. And what you're going to be hearing is you're going to be hearing the bright brass. You're not going to be hearing the my voice. My voice serves as what you call a modulator, which is a way of making, manipulating the sound of the bright brass so it sounds like a voice. It sounds like a human voice. Okay, Bill is back. There we go. Hopefully you could stay this time, Bill. Okay, Bill, if you can hear me, let me know. All right, so let's play now with this. So, let me set it up so that I could play this like kind of keyboard situation here. And let's put this in monitor in so that I can maybe play now. So I'm playing the clip of the voice that I recorded earlier. You don't hear anything because there's no bright brass playing. So I'm going to play a chord here. So now that I play with the chord, so I'm playing some notes here, and you could hear the convolving of the vocoded bright brass modulated by my voice. That's basically what's happening. So let's record a little part in there so that I can have some things to. Cool. So I've just recorded a few notes in here, and I'll make it like 8 bars long. still sticking, which is a little annoying. And now that that's playing back, now they're both playing together. So once again, my voice is what's coming through this track, but when they meet together in the vocoder, I'm going to say, but it's okay if I record
without
the vocoder on. Just maybe cut it up later. Vocoder on. And you get the chords that I played on that bright brass modulated by my voice, and we get this. Now we want it to sound a little more intelligible, so I'm going to take out the very low frequencies. These are formant filters here. And I could even shift the formants. Oh, and the Enigmatic Onion is here. I see. Try to get him on the show soon. There's also a unvoiced sort of part that you can add sibilants. Well, usually you try to take away sibilants, but in this case we're trying to add a little sibilants so we can have more intelligibility. Okay, so now we're set up. But now I could even set it up so I'm going to set up my voice so that it comes through the channel, and I could like vocode myself in real time. Hold on, let me see if this would be cool if I could pull this off. Try this now. Okay, this is good. So I'm going to turn myself off here.
Simple Sam is mentioning the kilohertz plugins. I guess they have a new update.
Let me get myself back in here. Okay, I don't want to monitor my voice anymore, but I was able to do that in real time, which is really cool. I'm happy to be able to do that. Okay, so are we back for good, Bill? Or are you good?
I hope so. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm not sure.
Because I was missing you there for a little bit. All right, so I have some stuff in here, and I can do more with it later, but I'm already set up to use the vocoder. Wanted to get that going. Remember, you do need both parts. I mean, you can use the vocoder in other modes. Like there's a pitch tracking mode that you could use it in, and there's like a noise mode that you can use it in, and a self-modulating mode. But nothing is as cool as having the external mode going and making that work for you. That is probably the better way to get that done. Let's see. Now
it's very musical. It's really
nice.
Nice.
It's one of my favorite things ever. Vocoding. I always feel like I should be doing more of it, and I don't do enough of it in my tracks. So let's go back and let's start to lay down some of the material. So let's. I'm just going to hit record. Nothing has to be, So since it's already kind of laying down, I'm gonna start to do the whole modulation thing with the filters that I set up earlier. I like to play in arrangements. It's much better to play in arrangements than to like sit around thinking what they're going to be and kind of working them out. I like to jam in my arrangements. Even if I take 20 minutes of jamming and then cutting it all up into something, you still kind of come up with much more interesting things when you kind of jam it in. Let's do this one. That's nice. Bring up a little bit of this. Like jazz. And there's our resonant part in the background doing its thing.
I like that dubby section.
You mean that part we couldn't figure out last time?
That little echo, yeah, that dub stab that comes in is really nice.
Parts out. Just kind of the hi-hat out for a little bit. Maybe even play some of these parts. Take this out for a little bit. So you don't have to be perfect with this. You could be, as imperfect as you want to be. So what I'll usually do is I'll record a very long take, and then let me just stop it right now so we can talk a little bit. So what I often do, this is not the only way that I make tracks. But what I often do is that I'll set up a bunch of cool things on, and it'll be more than what I have set up now. Right now, I just have 4 filters set up to those 4 synths, but it could be, everything could be ready to go on these things, and then I'll just hit record, and I won't put any pressure on myself to like get it right or to like do anything special. I just kind of just go for having fun, and I just let it start and let it go. And you might be up to a rocky start at the beginning, right? And not be able to to feel like you're getting into that groove. And then, maybe 3-4 minutes into it, even it might take that long, but even that long finally you start getting into a groove where you feel like, yeah, all right, things are happening now. And then, you might even end up in the zone where you're you can do nothing wrong. And then you'll lose it. You'll get back to this is sucking again. But then you kind of keep going. And then maybe you pick it up again and it starts to feel really cool again. And then maybe, get that and go maybe a good 10, 12 minutes of that. And what I'll do is, and then that's already, kind of recorded in there for you. Just as I recorded, what I recorded there. And then what I'll do is I'll export that onto, a WAV file or MP3. And then either put it on my phone or put it on, some sort of medium that I could, mostly on my phone. I mean, it used to be I would burn a CD or something so I could play it in my car, right? I guess I could still do that if I had a CD burner. But anyway, I'll listen to it somewhere else. I'm on the train or in my car or under a tree or whatever, and then take notes. Make sure to have like a pen and a pad, like to be able to take some notes about like what is good where, like, oh, at that point, that was really cool, and at that point this was really cool, and at that point that really sucks, so let's make sure you get rid of that. And what I'll do is I could do it here by setting up this set marker button to like say a button on my keyboard. So this is just hit key, and where's the set? Click on that, and then I'll press the number 1 in there, and then I'll just play back what I had going. And then when I hear something that's really cool, I'll just keep my finger on the button, and when I hear something that's really cool, I just drop a marker on there. And as it keeps on going, oh yeah, that one's cool. That part's cool too. It's kind of just reminding me, like, these are spots that either I want to keep or even parts that I want to delete, like get rid of it from here to here. So just kind of like places to remember, or parts of the track to remember, just like that. And eventually, I'll start to cut it down, and 10 to 12 minutes might turn into 3 or 4 minutes of like really cool passes, and I'll kind of, it's like a puzzle for me. I don't know how is it that you do your arrangements, Bill?
Well, I've never had any, live experience, I think, the way you have, being a DJ and doing all the different things that you've done. So I tend to just draw in the notes, the MIDI and stuff, draw in my automation.
I do that as well. You mean like a linear timeline sort of workout, like just workout?
Yeah.
I do.
I haven't really figured out how to record live like that, or record it in.
So what I say to people when they're learning live is that if you're going to be working with live, then you should really make it your business to learn how to do it like this, because other than that, you might as well just stick with like Logic or Cubase or some other DAW that you just kind of work out. I mean, there's other reasons why you work with live, but this is really where live shines, and like in the live performance part of it, it is really more than anything a live performance tool. And it if you can like integrate with the computer or interface with the computer through the benefits that live provides you, this is amazing. And I think I urge everybody to get in there with that. Let's see, some people are talking stuff. Don Dawson asked if I missed the bass. Did you use the operator for the bass too? No, I actually recorded those basses from different parts that we did with different synths. And I actually, one of them was actually a 303 that I recorded, an analog 303 that I recorded. What else? Animator says, Abe, all you heard of GPU audio? It's an organization looking to figure out a way to program computer GPU to process audio. It's really interesting. Check out the latest podcast of Music Production Podcast. Okay, cool. We'll do that. They have the organizers on the pod to talk about the specifics. Very nice. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. A lot of new stuff that every time I'm doing this show, I'm learning new stuff from you guys. I'm happy to have such a very active chat that gives so much information. Like if I mention an EQ, there'll be 20 EQs in the chat. You guys kind of talking about free EQs and EQs that do this better and that. Or if I mention a compressor or mention a synth or whatever, it's just so cool.
Yeah, there's stuff I've never heard of. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's great. That's why I love this. That's why I wanted you guys to come in on the show. Like, this is the second time for Bill, but I want to bring on more people from the chat on the show, because I think this is like a little community we got going on here. We do, I try to like play with stuff and try to show you maybe things that I think you might not know, but I also want to get down with what you guys are trying to talk about and what you're trying to what your goals are and what we're all trying to do together, right? So By the way, if you like what you're seeing, it would be really cool if you could give me a like. Those likes go a long way for me. It's great to impress my friends, and if you could also check out give us a subscribe to our channel. I mean, right now we're at 25.1K subscribers. That's awesome. I'd love to double that. Not today, but eventually. But yeah. Oh, and by the way, just before we go, tomorrow, come back for John Selway's show. He has this Techno Saturdays. I believe it's Techno because it was Electro last week. Also remember we have a monumental sale going on right now where we're offering buy a class and get one free. This doesn't happen very often. So, and the sale's over on Sunday. So if you don't catch it by Sunday, you're done. You're not going to be able to get it. So if you've been thinking about taking a class with us, this might be the time. Come on to the website 343labs.com. Check out the class schedule, and maybe it's time for you to come and join us in one of these classes. So let's see. Enigmatic Onion says I may be able to come on next week. Cool. TI80 Mark. I think it's cool bringing on longtime listeners. Smash that like. Yes, you could be one too there, TI. Electro every week, says Dan Dawson. Yeah, he does Electro every week sometimes. But no, his show is officially called Techno Saturdays. So it should be Techno. Shelly Johansson says, "Hi Abe, do you teach mixing and mastering or just production basics?" No, I teach mixing and mastering. Actually, it's my favorite class to teach. I think Bill's been in my mixing and mastering class.
It's an excellent class. You'll learn how to do it. It's really great.
I mess with your head a little bit in the first few classes, but it's all for good. But yeah, it's a
dark art.
It really is. It's like wizardry.
Art. It's magic. It's magic.
Sorcery. Anyway, tomorrow's show I cannot attend, so till next week, everybody. Oh, Simple Sam is coming on next week, right? Simple. We're going to get him on the show finally.
Enigmatic Onion might come on too. He says he might be available.
Yeah, I know. We've been in contact. He couldn't do it this week. So Koki Lord. How do you pronounce this? Lord K. Panids. Sorry, I butchered your name, I'm sure. Asked if the techno class is on Saturday, what time it is. It's at 1 o'clock. We always stream at 1 o'clock. So, come back tomorrow. Check out what we got going on. Check out our class schedule. Now is the time to grab that class. If you've been thinking about all year grabbing a class, this is the one time of the year where we do buy one, get one free class. And maybe you can come and take a mixing and mastering class with me. I have one starting very soon, like in a week or two. So maybe I'll see you there. Anyway, Bill, thanks again for joining me today. It's been
very welcome.
Fun to have you there. And we had some technical issues. I don't know what happened to my mouse. Is still dead, and my other mouse is intermittently going in and out.
It's always technical issues. It's the way it goes.
All right, so let's meet again next week. What do you say?
Great.
All right. With that, everybody, thank you. I really do appreciate you guys coming on, and I guess let me set up to say goodbye. I'll see you guys next week.